Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 is out once again, but this time on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. There's not much differences with this game. There are some graphic updates a little bit and some little quality of life changes and font changes for some reason for some of the text, but also there's new pages for Rosalina's storybook, which actually adds brand new story content. So I actually wanted to talk about those new pages, but also kind of give you an overview of the past pages as well. Maybe you're not familiar with them, and maybe you don't even want to buy this game to learn about the old or even the new pages, so you just want to watch this video and maybe I can help give you a better understanding of what's going on with this story now. The story starts off with a young girl named Rosalina, where she's just walking around one day outside and a random mushroom-shaped starship comes crashing down and a small star comes out known as the Luma. Luma tells Rosalina how it's waiting for its mother on the comet, so Rosalina decides to look out for the comet with the Luma, and doing so for days. In years, apparently. Oh my gosh. They decide to take matters in their own hands and fix up the ship and fly into space looking for the mother. And for some reason, Rosalina has the power to roll the window down of a spaceship and breathe in space. During the adventure, Rosalina talks about how she packed the essentials, being a telescope, butterfly net, stuffed bunny, bread, milk, jam, and an apricot-flavored tea, but forgot water. Then Luma pretty much tells her that, hey, I eat star bits, shove them in my mouth. Rosalina finds out that they're actually pretty tasty, so she starts collecting them too, because hunger. The two of them finally come upon a comet, and they actually go stand on it. There was still no sign of the Luma's mother, but the comet was completely glossed over with ice, which provided water for Rosalina and more star bits for the Luma. Rosalina then had a dream about her mother and was afraid that she would never see her again and started crying, and then the Luma started crying with her and they both just started crying together. They would bond on both not having their mothers around. I guess she doesn't miss father as much, she just misses his telescope. Now, apparently inside of the icy comet that she's on, it had like construction tools. Like who was there? She started building things like a kitchen, a library, you know, essentials. And Rosalina also states how she has a brother as well. Of course, she didn't want to cry for him either, only mama. One day they come near an apricot-colored planet where another Luma comes out, and then a bunch of Lumas come out, and they all think Rosalina is their mother, and they dance around her, and Rosalina decides to take the leadership of the Luma's mother. But then Rosalina looks through the telescope and sees her distant planet, and she can see her own castle, so yes, she is indeed a princess, and we get to learn more about where she comes from. She looks back at memories that she had with her family, and for instance, her mother underneath the tree where she's now buried. Oh my gosh. So that's why she's not crying for anybody else right now. Rosalina then explodes into tears, missing her home, her family, and of course, her deceased mother. The Luma wanted to help Rosalina carry on with her journey, and knew the only thing that it could do was to transform itself, and in a way, sacrifice itself to transform into a comet. The Lumas tell Rosalina that their main goal is to transform into something. Planets, stars, comets, it's in their nature, and they are all very excited to transform and see what they're going to turn into. Now, thanks to the comet, they can now search the stars and travel wherever they want. The original story then ends with Rosalina returning to visit her home once every 100 years. Yeah, she doesn't age. And then of course it gives us this final page of Rosalina returning her father's telescope. Of course, because she outlives the rest of her family. Dude, I often forget how sad of a story this is for a Mario game. Now, Nintendo added some new pages. For instance, we have this epilogue. Now, the epilogue doesn't add anything too important. It talks about how the Lumas are all like super rowdy and Rosalina are trying to get them to go to bed. She plays the guitar. That's new. Wait, where did she get a guitar? Now, it shows her going to sleep, of course, in the bedroom. That makes a lot of sense, but it's the same area from Super Mario Galaxy's actual game. But Rosalina states that her goal is to find where the Lumas are even from and how they're created, which is something that's new. And she talks about finding a new world. Finding out where the Lumas are from? Finding a new world? Hold on. Now Mario Galaxy 2 picks up, adding some new chapters. Chapter 1 is called Twins. So sometime after the first book, we learn about twin Lumas known as Mari and Lou. Mari is more outgoing, and Lou is more shy and held back. I do wonder if this is after the events from the first game, where Mario's already brought into the picture, so is Luigi, so maybe they're named after Mario and Luigi because they're twins. Mario and Luigi aren't twins, but you get what I'm saying. But one day, Mari actually transforms, flies away, and turns into a star. Lou is confused and asks Rosalina what's happening, and Rosalina's just pretty much like, hey, it's life. It's gonna happen to you too, get ready. Chapter 2 is called Alone, where Lou is pretty much sad because Mari is gone and transformed into a star, and hundreds of years go by and Lou still can't transform into anything herself. But since she can't transform herself, she makes her own little spaceship planet and flies off through space looking for Mari, running into Rosalina from time to time. But nope, no cigar. Lou gets frustrated thinking that Mari is having fun without her and cries because not only has she lost Mari, but she still can't transform into anything. Rosalina then visits Lou and tells her that you have to have hope. Hope is the only way that you're going to reunite yourself with Mari potentially in the future. But doing so also reminds Rosalina of her past and how she also struggled to let go of her past as well. She fills Lou with determination and hope, and Lou searches the stars once again, but this time carrying tons of Lumas with her as well, almost as if she's in the role of Rosalina. And then she changes her name to Lubba. Lubba's a girl? My life is a lie. Mari was exhausted after flying across the galaxy trying to find its purpose, but by doing so, it also loses its memory. It had no memory on why it was out here, what it was doing in the first place, didn't even remember its mother, Rosalina. Mari came across a very old planet that looked like it was about to explode at any second. It was full of little cinders, which are enemies from Super Mario Galaxy, and they didn't want anything to do with her. She then wished them on their way, and then ran into a pink comet that had the face of a thwomp. There's thwomp comets now? New lore! Of course, the thwomp comet was just rude, saying, "What are you doing out here all alone?" And she was just pretty much like, "Hey, I don't know. I'm just out here flying around. I have a mother?" Mari then flies into a completely dark part of space that hasn't had anything formed yet, like a new galaxy, until she sees a purple light in the distance where she believes it's Lou. Yep, for some reason, she gets her entire memory back just from seeing the purple light, and she talks about how she's going to find her other half, no matter how long it takes. She transforms into a star and soars across the galaxy looking for her twin. And we know from the beginning of Mario Galaxy 2 that Mario comes across Lubba, but the airship has been completely destroyed, thanks to Bowser and his meteorites that he shot at it. But thanks to Mario and his help collecting the power stars, they were able to transform the ship now into Mario's head. Now, I gotta be honest, I kind of expected the stories to end kind of just like a big conclusion and wrap up for both of the games, but if anything, it's almost giving me vibes as if it's a cliffhanger, like they're about to add more stuff, whether it be in additional pages, or is there really a new Mario Galaxy game coming? I mean, Rosalina's story ends with her trying to find where the Lumas come from and setting off on an adventure to find a new world. Now sure, maybe that ends up being the Mushroom Kingdom, and that's where she actually meets Mario and stuff like that. Who knows? Or is she already from the Mushroom Kingdom? Is that where her home was and she revisits it every 100 years or something? I don't know. But either way, we never did find out if Rosalina found out where the Lumas come from. I mean, there's never been any extra story with the Lumas. What about Mari and Lubba? They're just kind of left off on a random cliffhanger, and I feel like that story was almost like not even needed besides just telling us about where Lubba came from. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking too far into this, or maybe I'm not looking far enough. Maybe Nintendo really is planning some type of Mario Galaxy 3 game in the future, or maybe explaining this more in the official Mario Galaxy movie. Who knows, only time will tell, but let me know what you guys think about this down below. Stop what you're doing before you go, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and have a blessed day, guys. See ya.